All right, hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another video. And I wanted to just show some love to our three-legged friends, the tripods. And specifically, I wanted to kind of call out this awesome tripod that I have. This is a MeFoto Globetrotter model. It is a very versatile tripod. And the reason I say that is it can get pretty tall. This is it fully extended, and I'm about 5'11", and if I mount the camera on here, it's going to be probably about 6 feet off the ground. So it definitely is nice and versatile. Plus, you can pull your legs out to use it as a ground tripod if you want to get real close to the ground and so forth. So it's really versatile. It also gets extremely compact for travel, and that was the reason I bought this thing. It rather than having regular kind of just two telescoping legs, this has 5 sections that telescope into each other. So I'm just going to go through and do that now for you, just to show you how easy it is. And what I do is I just kind of loosen all the things and then just push them into each other and then grab sort of all 4 of the things and turn them sort of at the same time. So it's really quick to break down the tripod. It takes a little bit longer than a standard tripod because there's more legs to break down, but it's really, in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. Then you can pull your locks out and your tripod folds up to this. So it's extremely convenient for travel. And I've taken this on a number of trips where I needed a tripod. I brought this to Vegas with me. I brought this on a couple of cruises. So it's very easy to stick in a suitcase and really doesn't occupy that much room. But I did run into a little bit of a problem. I wanted to swap the ball head out on this. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, how hard can it be? Probably just gotta loosen it, right? So earlier this morning, I'm loosening it. And what's happening is this rotates fairly freely, fairly easily. And all I was doing was rotating it. This thing was on here so tightly, I could not get it off at all. So I'm looking online. Nobody's got anything online that talks about how to take this head off. I'm like, uh-oh, can I even swap the head out? Is it even possible? And I didn't even find that much on MeFoto's website to talk about that. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. I'm going to move the camera. Let's go over by the table and I'll show you that yes, you can take the heads off, take this head off and put on whichever head you want. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I found a review on F-Stoppers that talked about how great these tripods are, and that yes, you can take the head off. It doesn't say how. And I'm thinking, you know what? Let me at least show you how to do that. So here we are over by the table, and here's the tripod. Now, conventional wisdom might think you just turn the thing and it will loosen. I was doing that all morning, could not get the thing to come off at all. So then I was looking online and somebody was saying that there are screws underneath that you have to unscrew in order to take the head off. I'm like, okay, not a problem. So I start looking around under here, no screws. I'm thinking, what the heck? How am I gonna take this off? So I'm like, you know what? Obviously I don't have another head to replace this with, so I need to go down to my camera shop, talk to my buddy, see what he has to say. So I went down there, brought my tripod with me, and I told him the story. And he starts looking underneath, and he's like, "Oh man, I don't see any screws, and I can't take it off." And he's trying and trying and trying really, really hard to get the head to come off. Not happening. So he says, "Hey, why don't you go take it over by the service guys and see if they can take a look at it?" I said, "Okay." Went over by the service guys. They're trying and trying and trying, cannot get the thing off. And I'm thinking, "Oh no, do I have to buy a whole new tripod so it's MeFoto compatible?" I really don't want to do that. So, because I really like this thing and I like how compact it gets for for traveling. And turns out the guy that was helping me out at the service desk, he goes, "You know what? Maybe we should just try just turn it real hard." And I was like, "Any harder than we've been doing?" I said, "We can mutilate it. That's fine. I just want to take the thing off because I just want to put a different head on the top." So he goes in the back and he brought out this rubber. He took it's like they had extra rubberized grips from a zoom lens ring that he pulled off and put it on here, turning it, not going. He said, "Here, you give it a try." He He sets it up for me. He's holding the thing down. I'm holding it. We're trying to turn it. Next thing we know, that's it. So on this particular model, all you have to do is rotate it. But there's a good chance that this thing will be extremely, extremely tight to take off. Now I'm going to zoom the camera in here for just a second because I want to show you something. On this particular, on the head, there's 3 knobs, the smallest of which controls your controls the tension for when it's mounted and it's rotating. When this thing is loose, this bottom part's going to rotate fairly easily. So this is the part that you have to grip when you are trying to take this thing off. So when this is mounted on here, you can't grip the entire head. You know, you have to grip just this little bottom part in order to take the head off. So that's why having some kind of piece of rubber or like grippy gloves or something is really going to help to get this head to come off. So once you do that, it's actually totally easy. And now it's just a matter of picking what head you want to replace it with. Speaking of head, let me get my entire head in the picture. So I picked up a MeFoto BHQ2, which really kind of looks a lot like the other one because I want similar functionality. I don't want it to be too much bigger. This one is a bit bigger though, so I mean it's probably not going to fit in the case that came with the MeFoto, but that's fine. I don't mind that too much. But this one just rotates on here and goes right on like the other one did. And then once this is on, I'm just going to kind of grip this by the red rotate, you know, red part that spins, and I'm just going to try to push it on, sort of, you know, get it on there nice and tight. And then functionality wise, it kind of functions a lot like the other one, kind of rotates and does the same type of thing. So now I'm running all MeFoto stuff on my tripods here, and that's really good. This ball head really did work very well. So for those that are considering getting one of these MeFoto tripods, the ball head that comes with it is very good. So if you have just one camera, this thing is great. It's totally fine. I have no problem with it. I just needed something that was going to allow me to use both of my SLRs without having to swap the plates around and everything. One other thing that I want to show you guys, which I just found this out today actually, this tripod can also become a monopod, which is super cool. So let's just say that I wanted to, let's just say that I want, you know, I want to, you know, maybe do some long-term shooting and I need a monopod. I mean, I could just sort of close the legs together and use the legs like this as a monopod, but this actually can legitimately become a monopod. So let me show you how that works. On the tripod, one of these legs has a foam grip on it. That's the one that becomes your monopod. You rotate it counterclockwise and it will come off. It will unscrew. This is a lot easier to unscrew than taking the head off, by the way. You're going to set that aside for a moment. Then your top part, where your actual camera mounts, you're going to loosen this this little thing here, and drop this down about halfway or so, just so you can get the bottom part of this and take this cap off on the very bottom before this comes down. Okay, and then you're going to set that aside. And then loosen this again, and this is going to just come straight out. So now you've got the legs by themselves, which you can set aside, and you've got your ball head where your camera goes, and then you have your single leg. Now, take your single leg and screw it into this part right here, and you now have a monopod, or a selfie stick if you want to call it that. You can stick your 5D Mark III or whatever you want up here, and you now have a SLR and a selfie stick, which I'm going to do right now. Feels pretty good. So now I'm going to extend the legs. And this ball head is doing a nice job holding that camera nice and tight. I feel very confident about it. And there we go. So now if I need to lower it, I'm gonna do so. And now I've got my 5D Mark III on a lovely monopod. Very comfortable level to shoot at. And all I did was and all I did was reduce the one of the legs to bring it down to a comfortable height for me. But if you're a taller person, I just did the measurements here, and if you are about 6 feet or taller, if you're 6'3", 6'4", this should put the camera in a pretty nice height for you, even taller. The very top of the viewfinder is almost exactly 5 feet 11 from the bottom foot. So very versatile for for the taller folk. Now again, that may also be slightly different if you're using the stock head. This is measured with an aftermarket ball head on here, but with the stock head might be an inch or so less. But this will put your camera at a comfortable level if you're a tall person, or you can, like I did, just sort of reduce it, one of the 5 legs, and it brings it right down to a good level here. So now I can, of course, if I was going to shoot, I would take the lens cap off, but it's good either way. So thanks very much for checking this video out here, and I appreciate it as always. And if you like what I've got on my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you know anyone that is in the market for a tripod or a monopod or both, feel free to send them a link to this video so they can check this one out and maybe pick one up for themselves. Thanks again. Have a great day.